Hello, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody. Doing some urinary system and the digestive system today. How's everybody doing? We'll get started here in just a moment. Hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome in. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Ollie. I go live every day covering anatomy and physiology topics and other topics that you guys request. Today, we are focused on some urinary system questions. I know some people have some urinary stuff coming up. And then we have digestive system afterwards. How's everyone doing? I hope you're all doing well. Welcome, welcome. We'll get started here in just a moment. I would appreciate if you guys gave the live a like. It'll just get it out to more people so we can help as many people as possible on their anatomy and physiology topics. How's everyone doing? I hope you're all doing well. Welcome in. I do have this practice test available for download. It's on my website, which is linked in my bio, but I also put a link on my TikTok story as well. Alrighty, we'll go ahead and get started here, everybody. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Ollie. I do go live every single day covering anatomy and physiology and other topics that you guys... when am I doing more teas review? It'll be next week, Monday and Tuesday. But this is just good review for anatomy and physiology in general. These are a little more in-depth questions. These are great for A&P courses, undergraduate, graduate level. We'll get right into these in just a moment. But if you are new here, welcome. My name is Ollie. Like I said, I do go live every day. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I've been tutoring anatomy and physiology for about 5 years now, since 2020. And I do have this practice test available for download on my website that's linked in my bio. I will be uploading the replay of this to YouTube later today. Yesterday's live is already up, and then I do have the link to the practice test on my TikTok story. So we'll go ahead and get started here, guys. Number 1, which of the following is not a primary function of the urinary system? Which of the following is not a primary function of the urinary system? Thank you with love, with the heart me, appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for these lives, by the way. Yeah, no, of course. Thanks for joining the live. Thanks for joining it. I appreciate you guys being here. Alrighty, the answer to number 1, which of the following is not a primary function of the urinary system? The answer is D. Production of insulin is not a function. Insulin is produced by the pancreas. So filtration of blood is one of the key functions and the key role. And the urinary system does help regulate blood solute concentrations like sodium, chloride, potassium, calcium. And the secretion of hydrogen ions regulate pH. That is a key function. This maintains our acid-base balance. Number 2, which of the following statements about the urinary system is true? Answer choice A reads, left kidney is positioned lower than the right. B, both kidneys are located at the same exact height. C, the right kidney is lower than the left due to the liver. And D, the kidneys are located in the thoracic cavity. Hello, everybody. Welcome. If you're just joining, welcome, welcome. I do go live every single day covering anatomy and physiology and some other topics as well. We do pharmacology on Fridays. My name is Ollie. It's good to meet you guys. Appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate it when you guys give the live a like. It just gets it out to more people as well. Thank you for your participation in this as well. This is always so fun to do. I'll give you guys a couple moments to answer. Thanks for all the follows as well, everybody. Thank you guys. We just hit 60. Fun to do. I'll give you guys a couple moments to answer. Thanks for all the follows as well, everybody. Thank you guys. We just hit 60K this morning, actually, so thank you all for that. It's awesome. This week, for now, I will be going live about 1 p.m. I did have to start a little bit late today, unfortunately, but around 1 p.m. every day, at least until Sunday, and then I will kind of get my schedule together for next week. All right, so number 2, which of the following statements about the urinary system is true? The only true part here is C. The right kidney is lower than the left kidney due to the liver. So the liver takes up space on the right side, pushing the right kidney slightly lower. So if we have our liver, kidney is a little lower. This is our spine. So it's a little lower. So the right kidney, again, if we're opposite, so this is the right and this is the left. Our right is lower than the left because of our liver. Number 3, which of the following statements about the external anatomy of the kidney is true? Which of the following statements about the external anatomy of the kidney is true? Make sure. Any other? Yeah, I'm sorry, Eastern Standard Time. I have in one of my recent posts on TikTok my topic my topic schedule and the times and topics and whatnot. I definitely would go check that out. And then that in the comment section of those of that video, if you want to put down a topic request, I will use that in next week's topic stuff. This is not directed towards the Hezi or T's exam today. That will be Monday and Tuesdays. I have posted the live stream replays to those already. They're on YouTube. It's linked in my bio. Today, we're focusing on some more in-depth anatomy and physiology questions with a focus on the urinary system and the digestive system. We are on number 3 now. Which of the following statements about the external anatomy is true? The answer is C. The hilum is the entry and exit site for vessels and the ureter. So the hilum is that like medial indentation of the kidney where the renal artery and nerves enter and the renal vein and ureter exit. The renal capsule is that fibrous, it's a fibrous connective tissue, not adipose. So not adipose. So we know that's wrong. The renal fascia, it's a thin layer, so not thick. And D, it is the afferent arterial. And then the efferent drains it. So efferent drains. Efferent drains. Alrighty. Moving on to number 4. Which of the following correctly describes a structure found in the internal anatomy of the kidney? Thanks for the follows, everybody. I really appreciate it. I can make the letters larger. I can zoom in a little more. Does that help? Normally at 1 p.m. No, okay, gotcha. Sorry, I can make them a little thicker next time. That's weird. On my screen, they come up fine. Sorry about that, though. Awesome. But yes, Monday and Tuesday, not sure what time yet. Most likely around 1 p.m., but we will see. I have to get my schedule for next week before I can commit to a time for it. But it'll most likely be in the afternoon. Number 4, which of the following correctly describes a structure found in the internal anatomy of the kidney? The answer is C. It is the renal pyramids are located within the renal medulla. So the renal pyramids are those cone-shaped structures. They are found in the renal medulla. This is what's going to be responsible for transporting urine to the calyces. Answer choice A, the renal cortex contains the renal pyramids. They're in the medulla, not the cortex. The renal cortex is the outermost layer, not the medulla, and the renal pelvis collects urine. It does not filter blood. So this collects urine. Number 5, which of the following correctly matches a part of the nephron with its primary function? Thanks for sharing the live, everybody. I appreciate it. Yes, I do know what Anatomy 1 covers. This is not Anatomy 1, though. This would be Anatomy 2. Anatomy 1 is kind of... We can talk about the end of the live stream. I can make a list of what... I can maybe make a video, but more so like an introduction, cells, skin, skeletal system, muscular system, joints, and the nervous system typically. But number 5... We're on number 5 now. Which of the following correctly matches a part of the nephron with its primary function? The answer is C. It is the proximal convoluted tubule, the PCT, otherwise known, this is also called the PCT. The PCT is responsible for the majority of reabsorption. Nutrients like glucose, amino acids, electrolytes, ions, water. The Bowman's capsule, it collects filtrate, but it doesn't reabsorb nutrients, so it does not reabsorb. The loop of Henle concentrates urine by reabsorbing water and salts, not filtering. So this is more so for concentrating urine with water and electrolytes, not necessarily plasma. And then the collecting duct, that is involved in water reabsorption and the final concentration of urine, not protein filtration. So this is not true. Alrighty, moving on to number 6. And again, this is going to be available on YouTube afterwards. It is linked in my bio. Okay, perfect. I'll stay here to learn some more. Awesome, perfect. Yep, this is for AMP2, but you'll eventually have to take an AMP2 as well for urinary and digestive system. This, again, will be on YouTube. It's linked in my bio. We're going to move on to number 6. Which of the following accurately compares juxtamedullary and cortical nephrons? Which of the following accurately compares juxtamedullary and cortical nephrons? Awesome. So think about, you should know the difference between these as well. The answer is, I'll talk about it, but it's C. So juxtamedullary nephrons help concentrate urine, essentially because they have longer loops of Henle. So they have loops of Henle that extend deep into the medulla. This allows them to essentially create a concentration gradient. It's a crappy spelling, but this is essentially for urine concentration. For answer choice A, again, they have longer, not shorter loops, so that's why that one's wrong. B, cortical nephrons have renal corpuscles near the outer cortex, not the border. And D, cortical nephrons have shorter loops, so they do not reach deep so they do not extend deep. So that's why those ones are wrong. I have my test tomorrow, so thank you for this. Absolutely no problem. Good luck on your test tomorrow. Hopefully these questions are helping you out a little bit. Number 7, we're going to move on to number 7 now, everybody. Which of the following statements about the renal corpuscle and nephron function is correct? I just cracked my neck there for a moment. Oh boy. Which of the following statements about the renal corpuscle and nephron function is correct? Thanks for sharing the live. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the follows and likes on the live as well. The more that you guys do like the live, the more it'll get it out to people. To help people just like Brianna who have a test tomorrow on this. So get a little review for everybody on the way. But the answer to number 7, which of the following statements about the renal corpuscle and nephron function is correct? The answer is C. There's a lot of C's in here today. Sorry about that. The answer is C. So the renal corpuscle consists of the glomerulus and the Bowman's capsule. This is where the visceral layer is made of podocytes, and this is going to help filter blood. The parietal layer. Sorry, wait one sec. The parietal layer is simple squamous epithelium, not cuboidal. So not cuboidal. B, podocytes are part of the visceral, not parietal layer. That's why that one's wrong. And then for D, blood enters via the afferent. So these two are wrong. So it enters through the afferent and exits through the efferent. So these are mixed up. Number 8, which of the following correctly describes the structure of the Bowman's capsule? I need to stop second guessing. Yes, no, don't second guess yourself. Normally, I think it's always great to never second guess yourself. I've missed so many questions in the past where essentially I've second guessed myself and I knew the answer originally. But I will give you guys thanks for the follows, everybody. I really appreciate it. Always love seeing new faces around here. We do go live every day if you are new here. My name is Ollie. I will be posting these to YouTube afterwards. The one from yesterday is up already, and then this one will be up later today. Number 8, which of the following correctly describes the structure of the Bowman's capsule? The answer is B. The visceral layer contains podocytes that wrap around the glomerular capillaries. Excuse me. So, again, the parietal layer is simple squamous epithelial, not cuboidal, so it is not going to filter blood. C. Parietal layer does not secrete hormones. D. The visceral layer has what we talked about in the last is podocytes, not squamous cells. So they don't function in absorption. This is for A and P2. This is for A and P2. This is the urinary system. Number 9. Which of the following best describes the filtration membrane in the renal corpuscle? Thanks for all the follows, everybody. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys joining. This exam, the PDF of this exam is available on my website. I did also leave a link in my bio. Damn, I'm trying to go to the urinary system. As we speak, it's complicated. Yes. It is a very complicated system. There's a lot of functions. I recommend just kind of drawing the whole process out, where things get filtered, what happens at which point. But yes, this will get uploaded to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is linked in my bio. But we are on number 9 now. Which of the following best describes the filtration membrane in the renal corpuscle? The answer is C. It includes the capillary endothelium, basement membrane, and podocytes. So the filtration membrane is essentially 3 layers: the fenestrated endothelium, the basement membrane, and the filtration slits that are formed by the podocytes. This structure filters plasma into the Bowman's capsule. Answer choice A is wrong. Afferent arterioles supply blood, but they're not part of the filtration membrane. B, the membrane restricts large proteins, so it would restrict, not allow. And then D, the filtration membrane filters plasma. It does not secrete hormones, so no secreting hormones here. Number 10, which of the following best describes the function and location of the juxtaglomerular apparatus? Thanks, no problem. Yes, this will be uploaded to YouTube. So would it be foot processes of podocytes? Yeah. So if you're talking about the structures that have some sort of role in filtration at the glomerulus, then that would be correct. Yes. What is the meaning of So like juxtaglomerular, that's essentially just meaning like a region. All right, but the answer is C. It regulates blood pressure via renin release and is located where the distal tubule meets the afferent arteriole. So we regulate blood pressure via the renin release. So the JGA, the juxtaglomerular apparatus, includes our juxtaglomerular cells, which is kind of like the smooth muscle cells in the afferent arteriole, and what's also known as the macula densa. Those are specialized cells in the distal tubule. They monitor blood pressure and the sodium content, which will cause it to release renin to basically regulate our blood pressure. But A is wrong. His filtration occurs in the renal corpuscle, not the JGA. B, erythropoietin is produced in response to hypoxia, not by the JGA. Sodium reabsorption mainly occurs in the proximal tubule, and that's pretty much unrelated to the JGA. Alrighty, moving on. Number 11, which of the following correctly matches a nephron structure with its epithelial lining? Its epithelial lining. I get confused between renin and aldosterone. Yeah, renin and aldosterone are very connected, but renin, they're made in the juxtaglomerular cells. They are released when blood pressure drops, or sodium is low, or the sympathetic nervous system fires, and it'll convert angiotensin to angiotensin 1, angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2, and then angiotensin 2 will vasoconstrict blood vessels and stimulate the release of aldosterone, which is made in the adrenal cortex. And angiotensin 2 from renin is where it's released. And that'll act on the distal tubule and collecting ducts in the kidney, and it's going to increase sodium reabsorption and potassium secretion. So renin starts that process. That makes sense. Number 11, which of the following correctly describes a nephron structure with its epithelial lining? The answer is C. It is the distal convoluted tubule, the DCT. It has simple cuboidal epithelium with fewer microvilli. So the proximal tubule has simple cuboidal epithelium, not transitional. The thin segment of the loop of Henle has simple squamous epithelium, not cuboidal. And the parietal layer has simple squamous epithelium, not transitional. Oh, did I miss something? Not see the whole paper. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so Serena, yes. Is that better? Gotcha again. So the DCT has simple cuboidal epithelium. It does have fewer microvilli, but this is kind of just like matching up what has, what kind of tissue aligns these parts of the urinary system. So the proximal tubule has simple cuboidal epithelium. So this is simple cuboidal epithelium, not transitional. The thin segment of the loop of Henle has simple squamous, not cuboidal. And the bone, not cuboidal. And the Bowman's capsule has simple squamous. Not transitional. All good there? Transitional is pretty much only really seen in like the bladder for the most part. That's typically where it's kind of seen. But we'll go ahead and move on. Number 12, which of the following correctly represents the sequence of arterial blood flow toward the nephron in the kidney? So let's talk about this here. So again, we're talking about arterial blood flow toward the nephron. So we're going to the nephron. The answer here is C. So this is the correct flow. I just recommend drawing this out if you can get a diagram from your class, or just draw it out, find a picture online. We go from the renal artery to the segmental artery to the interlobar artery to the arcuate artery and to the interlobular artery, into the afferent arteriole. That is the correct anatomical pathway in which blood will reach the nephron. So again, we go from the renal artery to the segmental artery, the interlobar artery, the arcuate artery, the interlobular artery, and the afferent arteriole. Thank you for the follows. I really appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for liking the live as well. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys being here today. Number 13. Which of the following correctly represents the venous pathway that drains the blood from the peritubular capillaries back to the renal vein? So I think pretty much when it comes to artery versus venous pathways, they're pretty similar. It's just forward versus backwards for the most part. So the answer is going to be B. Is the peritubular capillaries. Again, we're starting. That's where we're starting here. And to the interlobular vein, the arcuate vein, and to the interlobar vein, into the renal vein. Most people get these two mixed up, the interlobular vein and the interlobar vein. I just recommend trying to draw out the pathway. The way that I always tried to think about it is this word was always a little longer to me. So I was like, when I was talking about the this pathway, I was like, okay, like it would because this word's longer, it takes longer to get to this one, and then the veins are just the opposite way. So that's how I always sort of remember that. Number 14. Which of the following pressures promotes the movement of fluid out of the glomerulus and into the Bowman's capsule? Thank you for this, sir. We'll use it to revise once I'm done covering chapter. Awesome, great. It'll be on YouTube as well. Number 14. Which of the following pressures promotes the movement of fluid out of the glomerulus into the Bowman's capsule? Number 14 is B. It is the glomerular capillary pressure. So, the glomerular capillary pressure is the blood pressure inside the capillaries of the glomerulus. It is the primary force that promotes movement of fluid into the Bowman's capsule. This pressure is essentially essential for the filtration process. It does overcome osmotic pressure and hydrostatic pressure in the capsule. Answer choice A, blood colloid osmotic pressure, also referred to as oncotic pressure. That's created by proteins like albumin in the blood. It would oppose filtration, essentially because water would pull back into the capillaries, which essentially would counteract what we're trying to do here from this question. Answer choice C, capsule hydrostatic pressure. This is the pressure that is exerted by the filtrate that is already accumulated in the Bowman's capsule. So that pressure would oppose filtration. And D, plasma oncotic pressure. This is the same as blood colloid osmotic pressure, as mentioned in answer choice A. Number 15, last question here for the urinary system. What is the effect of increased blood colloid osmotic pressure on the glomerular filtration? Kind of mentioned that already, but go ahead and give it a shot after I just explained it. Why am I seeing this after my anatomy exam this morning? I guess that is always how it works out sometimes, unfortunately, for some people. I just took this exam yesterday. Oh my gosh. Hopefully your guys' exams went well, at least, though. The answer here is C. It decreases filtration by pulling water back into the capillaries. So let's think about what we described earlier. So our oncotic pressure, otherwise known as our blood colloid osmotic pressure, is created by plasma proteins, mainly albumin. So mainly albumin. This was kind of an important protein to know for the urinary system. So when this pressure increases, it is going to pull water back into the glomerular capillaries. Basically, the proteins would create an osmotic gradient that would force water to stay in the capsule. So it would pull water from the Bowman's capsule back into the bloodstream, and it would oppose filtration. Alrighty. That was it for the urinary system today. Again, this will be uploaded to YouTube afterwards. It'll be uploaded later today. I do have a link to the test itself with all the answer choices and the explanations of all the answers if you want to do it yourself. The PDF is on my website. I have the link in my TikTok story as well. We're going to move on to the digestive system. I don't have that exam posted yet. But again, we are going to move on. And if you are new here, welcome. My name is Ollie. I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology and other topics. I do have a master's degree in molecular medicine. We do cover HESI and T's anatomy and physiology Mondays and Tuesdays. I have the schedule posted on my recent TikTok video. I'd go check that out. But for now, we're going to move on to the digestive system for now. If you're going to be leaving us after the urinary system, thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here. Hopefully you stick around, and welcome to everyone who's just joining us for the digestive system. These questions are going to be a little easier than the urinary system questions. Gone to nursing school thanks to you. Awesome, thank you. Thank you, Violet. I'm glad I was able to help in any way. At the end of the day, though, you're the one who did it. You should be proud of yourself. Congratulations on getting into nursing school. Very proud of you. I hope that you are proud as well. We're going to move on to number 1. Which of the following is responsible for the majority of nutrient absorption in the digestive system? I made these questions a little easier. I figured I would give our brains a little bit more of a break. These questions can be pretty similar to what's on the HESI and T's. These questions should be a little easier. Thanks for all the follows, guys. I really appreciate it. Always love seeing the new faces around here. But number 1 talks about which of the following is responsible for the majority of nutrient absorption. The answer is B. It is the small intestine. Small intestine, mainly the jejunum and the ileum, is where most of the nutrient absorption occurs. It has large surface areas because of villi and microvilli. Basically, when you increase the surface area, as we didn't put it SA, you're going to make it for more absorption. Number 2, the main function of the pancreas. The main function of the pancreas in digestion is to blank. What would that be? So the digestive PDF, I don't have uploaded yet, but the urinary PDF is on my website under practice tests. I do have a link on my TikTok story. Thank you. Thank you. You helped me prepare for my HESI, which I aced last week. Awesome. AGGY, congratulations on acing your HESI. You should be proud of yourself. I'm proud of you. I'm glad that I was able to help in any way. I love doing these live streams. I love making the content for stuff like that. So I always appreciate it when people tell me that. It makes my day. It's truly why we're here. I love doing this. It is very fun to do with you guys, for sure. We will cover what bio is in just a moment. But the main function of the pancreas is to produce digestive enzymes and bicarbonate. So bile essentially is produced by the liver. It is stored and released by the gallbladder, and it is meant to emulsify fats. So if we take a fat, we will use bile to break it down into smaller like droplets. These are my crappy droplets, in which then lipase, which is a enzyme that breaks down lipids, can come in and break these down further for absorption. But the pancreas produces digestive enzymes like amylase, lipase, which is mentioned, and proteases, helps break down carbs, fats, proteins. Bicarbonate is going to neutralize the stomach acid in the small intestine. But number 3, the layer of the digestive tract that contains blood vessels, nerves, and lymphatic vessels is the what? Yes, the pancreas does produce insulin, but it also has digestive enzymes as well. I'll give you guys just a moment. We're on number 3, the layer of the digestive tract that contains blood vessels, nerves, and lymphatic vessels. Is B, it is the submucosa. The submucosa is a layer of connective tissue beneath the mucosa, which contains all we just mentioned. The mucosa, answer choice A, that's the innermost layer for like secretion and absorption. The serosa, answer choice D, that's the outermost layer. It's more so for a protective outer layer. And the muscularis externa, that's the layer of smooth muscle, responsible for peristalsis. All right, moving on to number 4. What is the primary function of the stomach's parietal cells? What is the primary function of the stomach's parietal cells? Can I move it over? Yes. Let me reset here so I can see my screen a little better. I think my screen froze. Which way does it need to move to this better? Perfect. No problem. Number 4, what is the primary function of the stomach's parietal cells? The answer is B. It is to secrete hydrochloric acid, HCl. Parietal cells are, they line the stomach and they secrete HCl, which is going to help break down food. And hydrochloric acid is what is going to take pepsinogen and activate it into pepsin, which is going to break down our proteins. Break down proteins. Number 5. Which of the following enzymes is responsible for the digestion of starches in the mouth? Which of the following enzymes is responsible for digestion of starches in the mouth? The answer is B. It is amylase. And since we're talking about the mouth, this is called salivary amylase. And then if it was coming from the pancreas, it would be pancreatic amylase. So mouth, and then this is from the pancreas. Number 6, the chemical digestion of fat begins in the... Where does the chemical digestion of fat begin? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Thanks for joining us today. I always love seeing new people in the live streams. But hello, welcome if you are new here. My name is Ollie. I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology topics that you guys request. I have the schedule in one of my recent TikTok posts, and I do upload the replay of this to YouTube afterwards. Thank you, Belle, for the rose. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the follows, everybody. I really appreciate it. I love doing these live streams. And then in the comments of that schedule video, I do take, whenever topics you guys request, I will look at that first. The answer is C. It is the small intestine. The small intestine is where the majority and beginning of chemical digestion of fats begins, basically through the action of bile, which we talked about earlier. So this is mainly due to bile, which is going to emulsify fats. And then we also have pancreatic lipase. So that fat is going to get emulsified and broken down into droplets, and then this pancreatic lipase is going to come down and break it down even further. So we start here and move on. All right, we're going to move on to number 7. Which of the following is a function of the large intestine? Yes, the mouth is mechanical and chemical because we have salivary amylase. Chemical just means there's an enzyme involved. Mechanical means we're doing some sort of physical thing. Awesome. Number 7. Which of the following is a function of the large intestine? The answer is B, the absorption of water and electrolytes. So the large intestine primarily functions in absorbing water, electrolytes, and vitamins. This is what's going to make the indigestible matter and kind of turn it into stool. So whatever we have, so if we have the small intestine, whatever is left in the large intestine here, we are going to reabsorb the water and electrolytes, and this is essentially what is going to form our poop or stool, if you want to be professional. But the word poop, I like the word poop. Number 8, which part of the small intestine is primarily responsible for the majority of nutrient absorption? Which part of the small intestine is primarily responsible for the majority of nutrient absorption? The answer is B. It is the jejunum. The duodenum, that's the first part of the small intestine. Digestion does occur here, but it is not the main site of absorption. The jejunum is. And the ileum does have some. It does have quite a bit. More so for really big in B12 and salts. It's pretty. The jejunum and the ileum are where essentially most of it does, but the jejunum takes the crown. Jejunum and the ileum are where essentially most of it does, but the jejunum takes the crown. This is my crappy crown. And then the cecum, that's the part of the large intestine, not the small intestine. So, large intestine. Number 9, we kind of talked about bile, but the primary role of bile is to I made this question page. I have a urinary system up, one up from today. The digestive system is not up. But I do post these replays to YouTube afterwards, so you can go back and watch. But hello to everybody that just joined. Welcome. My name is Ollie. I do go live every day, covering anatomy and physiology topics. I do take requests for lives. I have that on my recent video of the schedule. So basically, you comment what you want to see, and I make the schedule based on what you guys post. But we are on number 9. I do post these to YouTube afterwards, and it is linked in my bio. I also have all of my study guides for anatomy and physiology and my notes for when I was in the class on my website as well. The link to that is in my bio. But the answer is C. It is to emulsify fats for digestion. It is to emulsify fats for digestion. So bile produced by the liver, stored and released by the gallbladder, emulsifies fats, which makes them easier for pancreatic lipase to break it down even further. Number 10. Which of the following is not a component of gastric juice? Thank you for all the follows, everybody. Welcome here if you're new. I always love seeing new people. Hello, hello. And if you are a recurring viewer, thank you so much for your support and your continued support. I appreciate you guys. I love doing this with you guys. It's so much fun. These live streams are always a good time. I look forward to doing them every day. Alrighty. So which of the following is not a component of gastric juice? The answer, number 10, is bile. So gastric juice. So bile is produced in the liver and stored in the gallbladder. It is not a component of gastric juice. So hydrochloric acid helps digest food and activates enzymes. Pepsinogen is activated by the chief cells in the stomach and converts it to pepsin in the hydrochloric acid environment. And intrinsic stomach and converts it to pepsin in the hydrochloric acid environment. And intrinsic. So sorry about that. Did it pause? I apologize. I do have a study guide on the muscles. Yes, it's on my website. Oh, this is really helpful. Thank you. Thank you as well. Thank you. I'm appreciate. It's helpful that you're here as well. Does that make sense, everybody, for number 10? Make sure, is my live back up? Just one sec. Make sure, is my live back up? Just one sec. Dang it. Is my live back up? Hold on one sec. So for number 10, which of the following is not a component of gastric juice? Bile is not part of gastric juice. It's produced by the liver and stored in the gallbladder. And it's released into the duodenum, which is the first part of the small intestine. So it plays no role in the acidic environment of the stomach. Hydrochloric acid is secreted by parietal cells in the stomach. Hydrochloric acid is secreted by parietal cells. Pepsinogen is secreted by chief cells. It's an inactive enzyme. And it's activated by hydrochloric acid to become pepsin, which is going to break down proteins. Oh, hold on. I'm unplug my phone. I don't know why my stuff keeps going in and out. And then the intrinsic factor is also secreted by parietal cells. And it's going to essentially be helpful when it comes to absorbing B12 in the small intestine. Does that make sense before I move on real quick? We all good? So I actually have some videos on my page here about about finals on how to start studying for it. Alrighty. Again, so bile is produced by the liver and stored in the gallbladder, and it gets released into the small intestine. So it's not in the stomach. These questions will be available on YouTube afterwards. I'll upload this later today. I do have the urinary system questions on my website for the PDF. Next question, perfect. Alrighty, number 11, the enzyme pepsin is activated by... The enzyme pepsin is activated in the stomach by... I talked about this a little bit already, a couple times. But hello, everybody. Welcome. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Ollie. I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology topics. I do take requests as well. I do upload these to YouTube afterwards. It's available. That is linked in my bio. And then I also have my notes and study guides from when I was in anatomy and physiology available on my website as well. It is also linked in my bio. We are on number 11 now. The enzyme pepsin is activated in the stomach by hydrochloric acid. So hydrochloric acid, so we have, parietal cells release pepsinogen. And then we have HCl, which converts, it activates it into pepsin. And this is going to be, think of pepsin peptide. So this is going to break down proteins. And then number 12, the process of swallowing is called, or also known as... Thank you for the follows. I really appreciate it. Always love seeing some new faces here. Hello to everybody that just joined. Welcome in. If you're new here, my name is Ollie, and I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology topics. I have my live schedule in one of my most recent TikTok posts, and I do upload these to YouTube afterwards as well. And I do have anatomy and physiology notes from when I was in the class on my website as well. It's linked in my bio also. The answer to 12 is C. It's deglutition. That is the process of swallowing, which essentially is the movement of food from the mouth through the pharynx, esophagus, and to the stomach. Peristalsis refers to the muscle contractions that moves food through the digestive tract. It's not really swallowing, though. Mastification is the process of chewing food in the mouth. Absorption is taking nutrients from the digestive tract into the bloodstream, so not swallowing. Number 13. What structure prevents food from entering the trachea during swallowing? Hi, Ollie. What's the YouTube account? It's my name. It's also linked in my TikTok bio. It's just my Ollie Herksig. Put it right there. This is my YouTube handle. It's also linked in my bio. My website is Medzig. Do I have anything on urinary reproduction? Yes, I do. Check my website. I should, yes. And hello to everybody that just joined. Welcome in. Welcome in. We are on number 13. What structure prevents food from entering the trachea during swallowing? The answer is the epiglottis. The uvula is involved in preventing food from entering the nasopharynx, but not the trachea. The larynx is the voice box, and it is part of the airway, yes, but it does not actively prevent food from entering the trachea. And the pharynx is just a passageway for both food and air. It doesn't specifically block anything, though. Alrighty, number 14. The nutrient primarily absorbed in the small intestine is primarily absorbed. So, even though it's which one is most absorbed in the small intestine? Think of absorbed, not digested. If that helps answer that question a little better. And hello, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Ollie. I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology topics. So the answer, let's think about this. Primarily absorbed in the small intestine is carbohydrates. So let's talk about this. So yes, they are all, well, I'm sorry, I'm so wrong here. Wrong. It's proteins, sorry. Not carbs, it's proteins. My bad, I was looking at something else. So these two, yes, they are absorbed in the small intestine, but they are not the primary nutrient absorbed. Protein is what is primarily absorbed as amino acids after it's digested by pepsin and trypsinogen. Remember that a lot of digestion occurs in the stomach for proteins. So it's already been broken down a lot more. Again, carbs have been broken down by amylase in the mouth. So again, all of these are absorbed in the small intestine. Remember, water is in the large intestine. But this is the most primarily absorbed one. Sorry about that, by the way. It is proteins. Let's see. It would be the jejunum. But number 15, the villi in the small intestine are important for. The villi in the small intestine are important for. Awesome. It is A. It is to increase the surface area for nutrient absorption. When you increase surface area, you increase the absorption because there's more space, more area to absorb it. Those were all the questions that I had planned for today. We did the urinary system plus the digestive today. We will be live again tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do have the topics available in my most recent TikTok video. This will be on YouTube afterwards. The YouTube replay is on YouTube. This is my YouTube again, but it's also linked in my bio. It's just my name. It's Ollie Herksig. And then my notes from when I was in anatomy and physiology are on my website, Medzig. These are both linked in my bio. I have the notes, study guides, and practice tests. This particular practice test for the digestive system is not up, but the urinary one from earlier today is there. I would check I do have muscles this week. I believe muscles are tomorrow or Thursday. Or wait, tomorrow. Today's Wednesday, right? Yes, so it would be tomorrow, yes. The URL is in my TikTok bio. And yes, I do have stuff for respiratory. Teacher, can I go to the bathroom? Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm not gonna. Do you need me to rate you? Here's your hall pass for the bathroom. There you go. So I'm using GoodNotes. This is GoodNotes. And I'll take a couple quick questions while I'm here before I go. Thank you, studying for my RD exam. This has been so helpful. Awesome, thank you. Thank you, Kami. I'm glad this has been helpful. Thank you for joining. I'm in radiology. Awesome. I do tutor, yes. My tutoring is full right now, though, so I would send me an email first. My email is linked in my TikTok bio. Oh, no, please don't do it. I do have to get going. I will be back tomorrow, though, at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is when we'll be back. I just got here. Oh, I'm sorry. This will be available on YouTube afterwards. Here's my YouTube. It's also linked in my bio. It's also linked in my bio. Is about to die, so it keeps. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that again. I do cover Hezi and T's as well. That's on Monday and Tuesdays, and then we do other topics that are more in depth, which would be more so for more in depth anatomy and physiology for just more in depth questions. And then we do pharmacology as well. We do pharmacology every Friday. Pharm Friday. Okay, thank you. Yes, Soccer, no problem. But yeah, the Hezi, it's kind of the questions are kind of similar to both. Why do we have to pay? Well, all the stuff here on TikTok is free. I do video requests for free. These live streams I do for free. The YouTube videos I make are free. All my notes and study guides, I spent hours on those. I don't just hand those out. RM says, I love this. I love you guys being here. Yeah, but yeah, no, I just. Do I think it's. I absolutely do. I've had so many people say that they've been worth it and have been helpful. But yeah, no, I've spent. It's my life's work. So I can't. I apologize. Either gotta do it yourself or you have to pay someone else to do it. That's my philosophy. I'm from America. United States. I do also have my master's degree in molecular medicine. Were there any other quick questions here before I get going? I have my digestive and urinary exam tomorrow. Fantastic. Yes, I will be posting this later tonight on YouTube after the replay. But we did go over both urinary and digestive system today. Thanks so much. No problem. Thank you. All right. Any other quick questions here before I get going? Anything else real quick? I stream for about an hour to 2 hours. We do anywhere between 30 and 60 questions. Today was just 30. But anyway, thanks for joining today, everybody. I appreciate you guys being here. I love doing this. Okay, thank you. And your everyday, yes. Every day, I actually have, it's not my exactly most recent post on TikTok, but is the second most recent one. It has my schedule. I have a picture of my schedule up there. But for now, today, this week, we'll be going live every day. I have the schedule through Sunday for now. Anything you want me to go over, just put it in the comment section there. That's where I'll be looking for topic requests. But some days I do, take off from the stream just because, I have too much going on. But I will let you guys know when that is the case. But for the most part, we go live every day. Alrighty, that's going to be all for today, guys. Again, thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate you guys being here. You guys are awesome. We'll be back again tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time doing some more anatomy and physiology. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.